Madagascar is so little known that I'd better start with some basic facts. It's an island off the east coast of Africa in the tropics. It had drifted there over millions of years from much further east. The original population, believe it or not, came from Borneo. Today it's a mixture of African and the original Asian, as you will see. It's the fourth largest island in the world, almost 3 times the size of Britain. The flora and fauna is extraordinary, 90% of it found nowhere else. Madagascar had developed a monarchy until overthrown by the French at the end of the 19th century. It then became a French colony until independence in 1960. Madagascar remains politically very unstable. The people are known as Malagasy, which is also the main language. The population, 22 million, is small given the island's size, but rapidly growing. It's one of the very poorest countries in the world, and getting poorer. We fly to Antananarivo, the capital. It's in the Central Highlands, with a population approaching 1.5 million, by far the largest city in Madagascar. There have been royal palaces here on the highest of Antananarivo's many hills since the 17th century. This Queen's Palace dates from 1867. It was gutted by fire in 1995, possibly arson, and remains gutted, though it now has a new roof. Initially, we're in Antananarivo for 1 night only. We return here later. Early the following morning, we fly on to Tuliar in the southwest of Madagascar. It's an hour's flight. At Tuliar, we transfer to a small fleet of jeeps, 2 or 3 of us per jeep, for the journey on to Ifati. It's only 11 miles away, but the road is so appalling that the drive takes an hour and a half. This is why we are at Ifati, to see the baobab trees. Baobabs are wonderful and extraordinary. They used to cover much of the western, drier side of Madagascar. The huge trunk is to conserve water, but nearly all baobabs have now been chopped down for firewood or to clear the land for crops. They survive only in a few small reserves. The baobabs found here at the spiny bush are a relatively small variety, much smaller than those in the well-known avenue giant baobabs, which we do not see. It's 100 or so miles away. But that giant avenue has only about 50 baobabs at the most. There are hundreds of them here. There's also much to be seen in the undergrowth and in the upper branches. There are no dangerous snakes in Madagascar, or indeed any dangerous animals. Walking anywhere is remarkably safe. Scorpions are about the only creature you have to be wary of. It really is an eye of a kind, a parietal eye. Back in Tulia, we are reunited with our bus, the one that had originally met us at Antananarivo Airport. While we were staying at Afati, it had been driven the 600 miles south and now picks us up here. We are a group of 13, led by our Scottish tour manager Di. She met us at Antananarivo Airport. We recognised her the instant we saw her, and she us. She'd been our tour manager in Cuba 3 years before. Immensely capable, copes with any situation. I'd begun to feel ill yesterday and felt steadily less well as the day went on. Di arranges for a doctor to come and see me the following morning. As arranged, a local Malagasy doctor came to see me first thing. The hotel is out in the country. He'd driven from a nearby town. A really nice young man. He spoke French, I spoke Franglais. We got on fine. He examined me, prescribed penicillin and 2 other medicines, supplied them all, and wrote out his bill for the consultation and medicines. The total of 73,000 ariary might look alarming. It works out at a little under £20. Madagascar is a very poor country. Zebus are the Madagascan version of cattle. They have a distinctive hump. This hump stores water, which enables them to cope with a dry climate. Look at the treeless landscape. This was all forest, not so long ago. At an ever-accelerating rate, deforestation has replaced trees with crops, mainly rice. The road is poor. It's a very long drive and slow. It takes the best part of a day. Meanwhile, here's a clip of Mana telling us about his early life. It also gives you an idea of the ups and downs of the bus.
But we don't pronounce the last words. we just say mana. Yeah, manana in our language that means to have. Yeah, and kiri that means courage or a perseverance. Yeah, I was a little orphan. Yeah, I have lost my father when I was only 4, my mother when I was 10 or 11. Yeah, I grew up in real misery. I used to live in the fields. Yeah, I was the little dirty boy of the village, very dirty. Nobody wants me at home. I was plenty of lice, and people didn't like me. Yeah, I used to live in the fields. I didn't have any food. I just killed a cassava or sweet potato.
It's dusk by the time we reach our hotel, just a one-night stop. You'll see it tomorrow morning.
Sulla faca di fiecchia, tua ila tia yeskia. Sulla faca, nanda unilalani marna. Tua ila faca, ebueri nitati fafana. Fantanyunue nilala nuaraina. Indrisi fatimianiela. Itrakeni fayendena sisatavela. Yetraketaka yetseruo. Atalana ci arrivo tanisakua. Nando sirani raya mandeni sira wafana chisasa trani nandata fatalu nyumeza narani teni.
Zebu horn is heated, then shaped and carved into cups and bowls for the kitchen and even jewellery.
Fantanyunue nilala nuaraina. Indrisi fatimianiela. Itrakeni fayendena sisatavela.
In Madagascar, it is never acceptable to point a camera at anyone. You must get their permission first. Here in this village they say we can, so it's a special day. We stop at yet another roadside shed. This one supplies all of Madagascar with its aluminium cooking pots. We watch the whole process, from heating up aluminium scrap, making the mould, pouring in the red-hot metal while standing on the mould to compress it, and the final new aluminium cooking pot. There are lemurs up in the trees, but they move quickly and are difficult to see. First, we stop at a very small island reserve. It's for lemurs, which had once been pets and their descendants. So exceptionally, they have no fear of humans. We really do see lemurs face to face. They might possibly shit on you in a friendly way, but they didn't.
Non baila nise Tifti amaktana no Turujunya kastani ze Tandinu nasisa Ratua kamandalwa Lasat non baila nise Tifti amaktana no.
Ambo Himanga is about half an hour away. From this ancient settlement on a hill, much of the island was once ruled. It's the most revered site for Madagascans, and for long Europeans were forbidden to come here. The original buildings are long gone. What's here now is 19th century. We even see some more lemurs in another reserve. Lemurs are unique to Madagascar. They come in some 100 different kinds, but their numbers are declining rapidly, and like bearbabs, they face extinction. At the farewell dinner, most of our group of 13 fly home tomorrow. We stay on. It's an hour's flight to the island of Nossi Bay, where we get a taxi to our hotel. The taxi drive takes about a further hour. At one point our taxi suddenly stops. The driver has spotted a remarkable chameleon, though I can't imagine how, impossible to see from any distance. He says we must get out and look at it. If the hotel looks a little empty, it is. Almost no one staying here, apart from us. It's the off-season, thank goodness. Nossi Bay is ringed with hotels like this, a popular resort, especially with the French.
Mangina lufe favuo Satie favuo Adala Luisa munde matu